Have you ever noticed that you remember what you got wrong more than what you got right? Well, this is human nature. We all do it. It's this idea of a negativity bias. Now, your brain pays 3 times more attention to a negative emotion or event than it does to a positive. Now, that's going to make it really hard to be confident. Today, we're going to talk about how to build confidence generally, and I'll give you some ideas and strategies to start thinking about. When we focus on what's wrong with us, it makes it really, really hard to go out and try new things or to meet new people. But when you focus on what you do well, that's how we can start to gently build our confidence. Now, what we know from the science of positive psychology is that we actually need 3 positive emotions to every 1 negative for us to thrive or flourish. And so if we think about that ratio, if you spend a whole lot of your time noticing what you've done wrong, what you haven't finished, why you're not good enough, or what somebody is thinking about you or being critical of, it's going to be really, really hard for you to feel confident. And so we need to flip that equation, right? So what we can do is we can start learning to be kind to yourself. When you're kind to yourself, and we call this self-compassion, it's recognizing that sometimes things are tough, sometimes things are uncomfortable, sometimes you literally don't have the experience. So you can't expect yourself to be confident if, for example, you've never applied for a job, or this is the first interview you're ever going to, or you're at a barbecue and you're meeting a whole group of people that you've never met before. Please don't expect yourself to be confident. You have to practice this stuff, and confidence is a skill that you'll build over time. Being kind to yourself means recognizing that this is a challenging situation, and most people in this situation would actually feel uncomfortable or nervous or a little bit anxious. That makes you a perfectly normal human being. What we want you to think about, though, is how you can be kind to yourself in the moment. Because what most people do, and you might reflect on doing this sometimes, is most people beat themselves up. They find all the reasons why they're not good enough, or not pretty enough, or not fast enough, or not clever enough. And then they double down on that, and that makes people feel terrible. So when something goes wrong or in a different social situation, I want you to just notice one thing you do well. Start to acknowledge your strengths. And if you can do that, everything will change. When you speak to yourself like you would speak to a really good friend, you'll notice you actually start to lift. You start to feel better about yourself. You start to acknowledge what you can do well and where your strengths are. So I want you to think about what you're really good at. Focusing on what your strengths is going to help build this side of the equation. You can also reframe things by noticing where you're learning. So I know myself, I don't really love walking into, a barbecue or social situations where I don't know people. But if I say to myself, I hate this stuff, then that's not going to help my confidence. But if I say to myself, I'm learning to speak to people that I don't know, then that makes me feel better because it's something that I can learn. And if I can learn it, then I can get better at it. And that's cool. This time, I really want you to think about noticing what you are good at. It could be anything from, making cakes to listening to how people talk to you to spending time with a dog. It doesn't matter. When you notice what you're good at, your confidence will gently start to build. And next time, we'll talk more about how to build confidence specifically in social situations. I'll see you then.